Hello everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and this is a speed up version of the live stream from 1/10/2019, which was about challenges and how challenges keep you rolling in your creativity and creating art. Sometimes you don't know what to do. And if you pick up a challenge, and believe me, there's tons of them out there, you can get some prompts or some ideas or some inspiration. And so that's what we were talking about today. And the first challenge we decided to tackle is our Pick a Stick Challenge artist trading card, which we have every month in the Pick a Stick Challenge group. And I was talking about the art part of what reduction means when you see my hands flopping around here. I'm going to do a technique today where you limit your color palette. It's called a reduced palette. And that is one of the definitions of reduction in art. There is another one, but I'm limiting my color palette to white, which is one of the challenge colors, then black, and then a sage green, gray-green color. And this is a light, a dark, and a medium tone. You could do monochromatic. You could do like dark, medium, and light blue or something like that. This way, they're different colors, but I definitely have a dark and a medium and a light. So the first prompt was tear. And I have my Stabilo all black pencil, and I used a tiny little stencil to draw kind of a zigzag line across my artist trading card. And then I tore it along that line. That's going to be mounted on this other black piece as a backing, so it'll end up being the size of an artist trading card, but that top part is torn off, and that was very intentional. I also used another little tiny stencil that is a saguaro cactus. Someone sent me this 3-pack of stencils. I have been going through my stencils and organizing everything, and you saw my little ring thing that I'm keeping the smaller ones on. I punch a hole in them and then keep them on this ring so that I don't lose them because they're tiny. And the stencils that I was using today both were from that tiny ring. This one is a Plaid brand stencil, and the other one was Heidi Swap. So I am using that black pencil, which is highly water reactive. I'm activating it with a water brush and making shadows, and the third prompt happens to be grimy, so I'm making it look a little bit grimy. And then I'm also adding that sage green color. It's a very grayed out green, and I'm applying it directly to the paper. This is watercolor paper, by the way, 140 pound cold press watercolor paper. So then I was talking about how the other day when I went out, it was actually snowing in Tucson. That doesn't happen very often. It's very rare. So I was using my little card here to celebrate the snow that we had. So I used my white Posca pen, which is my third color, my brightest, lightest color, and added some snow onto my mountains, onto the top of my little cactuses. And then I'm also adding some Nuvo drops, which is kind of a sparkly crystal stuff, glitter glue type stuff. And that meets the challenge. I have my ATC. So then the next challenge we decided to do is Tag It Tuesday. That's another Facebook group. And there are 4 prompts, of which you're required to use 2 of them. You don't have to use them in order. But I usually just use all 4 because I like a challenge. So the first prompt for the Tag It Tuesday challenge was scribble with colored pencils. So I got out my Prismacolor pencils and I just went to town scribbling. I discovered that I like to scribble in circles. I'm not a back and forth scribbler. I'm holding the pencil back far on the barrel of it to give my hand more loose, free scribbling, and I'm just using some red and some burgundy, some gray, and then some blues of different pencils and just scribbling all over the tag. This is a manila shipping tag. It's about 3 inches by 6 inches. It's a little bit bigger than that, but that's an approximation. And I have tons of these things and I like to alter them. So that was what I did. I went around the edges with a blue ink pad because the scribbling didn't always get all the way to the edges and it seemed light on the edges. The second prompt was splatter ink or paint. So I decided to splatter with the Marabou Mixed Media Art Spray, which is a permanent spray. But instead of squirting it with the sprayer, I took the plastic straw out and flicked it onto my tag. And then I also used a white Posca pen and flicked that as well. Didn't make it on the camera because this is a speed up of the live stream, which has Peg and myself going back and forth. So then the next prompt was to use a random sentence, and I used a randomizer, random generating sentence thing, and the sentence it came up with is, I will buy the red car. I think I will buy the red car or lease the blue one. So when I generated that sentence, I went on Unsplash, which is a site that you can get royalty-free downloadable pictures. And I downloaded a picture of a red toy car and a picture of a blue toy car, and I shrunk them down because they're JPEGs, and that's what I glued onto my tag to go along with my sentence, which I printed out with a label maker, a Brother P-Touch label maker, to put on my tag. Is it the best tag I ever made? I don't know. I also made some tire tracks across it with a wheel stamp, but they don't show up very well because the background is so crazy that you can't really see my wheel tracks. I think that it would have been a little bit better if you'd been able to see those. So maybe I shouldn't have gone so nuts on my scribbling, but I was having fun scribbling. It was a very refreshing thing to do, just scribble on a tag. So thanks for that, Sherry. So I added some pen work and some shading to just try to bring out those pictures from the background. Drew some lines around the little words to try to make it more interesting, but that was my Tag It Tuesday tag for January of 2019. So then we had about 15 or 20 minutes left in our show, and we were both done with our projects. So this is a little journal that was given to me when I was on the art retreat recently by Vicki, and it is filled with kind of monochromatic gel prints. So I decided to start working in it. Hadn't done any pages in it yet. So I got my bin of scraps that live next to on my desk next to me, and I started to work on a collage. Didn't get it completely done on the show, but I do have a picture of it completed because after we ended the show, then Peg and I were sitting there talking about upcoming weeks and what we're going to do, and I just continued to work on it, so it got all finished. But these are just random scraps again, and I'm picking ones that go along with the kind of goldish background that is already on the page. And the first thing I pulled out was that sun that I had cleaned up a stencil. I had been using that stencil from Jeff Utter, and I had extra of the bronze colored stuff, and I put it on a piece of deli paper just to get it clean or whatever, and that was the leftover piece. So I ended up putting that on at the end, but I put all these other pieces on, including this piece of a postcard that someone sent me, and a little word that says the beauty of nature or something like that. Nature's beauty, something like that. So yeah, it was a fun project. We had fun on the show. I hope you've enjoyed this video of the speed through. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Comments, questions, sharing, all those things are great for my channel. And so I am glad that you do them. And here come your close-ups. Bye.